What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Free Game. I'm your host, Chris Hall, videographer and content creator, and we've got another reaction video for you today. This is a young man who has said he's done with the 9 to 5. He has tried to cope with working a 9 to 5, going through series of depression, and he's even gone through desperate measures as such to use drugs, and even that didn't work. So let's see what this gentleman's plans are moving forward. See if we can help him out.
I can't work a 9 to 5 job. Anytime I've ever tried, I started to legitimately lose my mind. Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. I've worked at U-Haul before. I've worked at a call center. I've worked from home. I've done sales. I've done customer service. I've done real estate. I've done food service jobs, retail. I've done it all.
Food service, retail, U-Haul, customer service, call center. Those all sound like skillless occupations, service work, unskilled labor. So those would be a headache to work at, especially if you're working at those type of places in concession. You know what I'm saying? If that's all that you're doing, then you're just kind of going from one BS job to the other BS job, and similar to going in and out of bad relationships, you're eventually going to get a bad taste in your mouth when it comes to the relationships. So now that you've had bad relationships when it comes to work, you now have a bad taste in your mouth, if you will, when it comes to work.
Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. Sometimes this job I might last 9 months, this one 2 weeks, 3 months here, 1 day here. I've never lasted at a job longer than 1 year. I just can't do it. I legitimately can't do it. And anytime I've ever tried to express this feeling to people that jobs aren't for me, people look at me crazy, like I'm lazy and like I need to suck it up, and that's just life. Newsflash, that's not just fucking life. If it was just life, there wouldn't be people who are doing whatever they want to do all the time. There wouldn't be the rich people. There wouldn't be people who are free.
So this is another misnomer. It happens a lot in the black community. Is we are so engulfed with social media, YouTube, you name it, concerts, music, with our celebrities and entertainers, and we look up to them so much, and we look at their life and it looks like a life of leisure. Even the business owners, millionaires, almost millionaires, billionaires, we look at their lives and we believe that it's easy. So we want to just live that life of ease. We don't want to necessarily work to get to that point. And I have this debate or conversation, should I say, because I think we both agree, with a friend. I said, man, why don't Beyonce come back and tell women how to get what she has? Or Jay-Z, or even Nas, or anybody. Just come down off their pedestal and tell you how to manage your money or your finances or what you should do with your life. Never really see them do that. People like this, they only see the end result, and that's the only thing that they care about. So they tend to quit on certain things. Let's see what he has to say.
I feel like so many people are stuck. They're in like this box. I don't want to use the word matrix because I'm not trying to be cringe like Andrew Tate. Speaking of him, I just want to go on a little rant real quick. I'll see people online like him who say life isn't about being happy. Life isn't about like enjoying what you want to do, and it's just work. It's just grind. And the fuck? This isn't like caveman days where you're just doing shit just to do it.
He thinks working and grinding and being focused on a particular task, being diligent, consistent. You say you've only worked that place the longest a year, and you've even lasted as short as a day. Those are some of the things that Andrew Tate preaches about. And any young man who pushes back at least on those talking points of Andrew Tate. You don't have to believe everything that anybody says. It's terrible. Definitely don't listen to me. You don't have to believe what anybody says on YouTube or social media or your local motivational speaker, a la preacher. You don't have to listen to any of that. But if you push away those beliefs, that's how I know that there's something deeply rooted in this young man, far past just working dead-end jobs, that's making you feel this way in your mentality. I would love to hear about your upbringing, whether you was raised by your mama or your daddy.
Like, we live in a time where you have the ability to love what you do and be able to actually make it work. Why would I want to do something I don't like? Why would I want to hate my life? Somebody could give me $500,000 and say, here, work this 9-to-5 job for the next 60 years. Fuck you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it's not about the money for me. It's never been about the money. I want freedom. I want happiness.
And that's the problem. Oh, it's about the money, my boy. It's always about the money. Now, you're young, what I'm assuming. So you still got time to mess up a bit. Hopefully not too much. Nothing you can't get yourself out of. But I do want to let you know, you just can't be free, my boy. It looks like you have your own place. This looks like a apartment type of setup. From what I'm looking at, you don't have any sheets on your bed currently. So you look like what you're talking about for sure. You definitely practice what you preach, which is A-okay. I'm not saying that to disrespect. This is respectfully. But yet and still, due to you not wanting to work, you are not going to get that freedom. See, some people want to be artistic and you may come off a little autistic. So I'm assuming you live in the United States of America, and that's especially not how the U.S. works, my boy.
That's what this shit is all about. Why would I want to make my life miserable and spend 70% of my life at a job? I even hated school. Like, as a kid, I remember starting school, whether it was at 7 a.m. or at 8 a.m., 6 a.m., leaving at 3, 4, 5, whatever. And I'm looking around and I'm like, does anybody else not see how crazy this is? Like, what are we actually doing right now? I'm learning about this bullshit that I know won't matter. And when I ask the teacher, when am I going to use this in real life, they can't give me an answer. I knew it was bullshit from the beginning, but it was like I was a kid and all I have to do is get the grades or else I'm going to get in trouble at home. That's what life was.
I do agree with that somewhat.
So now as an adult who's able to finally make decisions, I'm looking at the cycle basically repeat itself. Where instead of it being school, it's work. And people are like, just do it. Anytime I've tried to tell people I can't work a job, they don't understand where I'm coming from. I'm not doing it. Fuck a job. I can't do it. I've tried anything and everything to make it work. I've tried drugs like antidepressants and ADHD meds. It doesn't matter.
You see his repair, his fix to working at a 9-to-5 is not to learn more to make yourself a higher asset in the marketplace in which you want to be in. But you also are taking drugs to try to fix it. Like, what made you say, you know what, to deal with going to work, I'm going to take drugs? That's why I'm telling you, there's a deeper rooted issue with this individual, and it most likely deals from lack of discipline. Because when it comes to going to work, or what we now have buzzworded as a 9-to-5, what happens with that is it gives you a sense of structure. You have to be somewhere at a particular time. You cannot leave until it's time for you to go. There's certain things that you cannot do, certain things you cannot say. Some jobs require you to wear a uniform of some sort, sometimes because of your age or the lack of experience that you have or worth, what ends up happening is that you end up in, like, let's say a bad schedule, like someone who works the night shift or something. So now you're working at night, so you're working in the cold. I remember a story when I was 13, I believe I had my first job working at Winn-Dixie, funny enough, pushing grocery carts. And, I was pushing grocery carts and everything's fine. I'm growing up in sunny South Florida. So, sometimes it rains, sometimes it lives up to its name, but sometimes it rains. And I think I was, I did have a poncho or a raincoat from Winn-Dixie, but I think that I had to get carts, and it was really, really raining. And I don't think there was any carts inside of the grocery store. And I was, I won't say forced, but I was required to go get those bags to get the carts to bring them in. And instead of bringing those carts in, I said, man, I didn't know that this job was going to entail me being in the goddamn rain. I quit. What? I'd rather walk home in the rain than pick these carts up. But what that would have showed me is that, this is the job that I signed up for, and this is only temporary, because after this job, I'm going to make myself better than just a cart pusher. So one thing you haven't tried yet, young man, from what I'm seeing, is try to elevate yourself past a cart pusher.
Make myself normal, right? Trying to make sure I can just work the job like everybody else. No. I need to accept that this is who I am, right? And that's fine. And I shouldn't feel guilty about this is who I am. I shouldn't feel guilty about that. Like, okay, you can work your regular job and you can be fine with it. Not me. Not me. I don't care. I live alone. I have bills, right? I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my car insurance. I have to pay my credit card bills. I have so many bills.
You just named a gang of stuff to be saying that you're trying to be free. You haven't relieved yourself from all these bills. It's weird that we want to relieve ourselves from work, but we don't want to relieve ourselves from responsibilities and bills that we have. I can see if you were living out your car or something like that, or not even your car, if you was living in your mom's basement or something with no car, you're on a cell phone family plan with your parents or something. But nah, boy, you got responsibilities. Telling us some quitting work. What? Being free?
But I'd rather be uncertain about where my money's going to come from than have to work a job that I hate. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the money. I want autonomy over who I am. A great example is my last job. I just quit my last job. I started my new job like a month ago. And it was working fine. I was, telling my parents about it, having conversations with my dad. Everybody was saying like, yeah, this is finally good. Like, you're finally like going somewhere and you're doing something. And I was like, it's whatever. And then I'm working there and like I'm starting to like just get the feelings that I always get when I have a job, where it's just like, I don't want to go to work. And it's like when I get off of work, I have no energy left and I'm dreading like bedtime, because I know as soon as I wake up, I have to get right back in front of my computer and begin working on dumb shit again. It was a sales job, so I'm sitting here calling people on the phone. And my manager is nitpicking and micromanaging and telling me what I can and can't do.
Exactly. See what I said? And then another buzzword, micromanaging. You see, micromanaging comes from the root word micro, meaning, sir, and I've been there too, so I'm not just picking on this guy, that your position in the job is small. It's micro, meaning that they have a lot of small people like yourself, like ants, right? So one person oversees a bunch of ants, but it's like 100 of y'all, right? So that whole department is macro, like the department is big, But you inside of the department, my friend, are small. So you have to be micromanaged so the entire department can look a certain way. You get what I'm saying? It's 100 of you. It's thousands of you. So if you're not micromanaged, the entire department can look a certain way. So you have to be micromanaged, and most adults, at least, or human beings in general, don't like that.
And I can't do that. I can't have somebody telling me what to do. So that anger was just building up, and I just said, fuck this. I finished my shift that day, and I just stopped showing up. And my manager was like emailing me, sending me messages like, where are you? Like, did you put your PTO in? Did you request time off? Fuck you. Like, that just reinforced my idea of, why am I allowing somebody else to be in control of my life? Like, this dude, who I don't even know, is literally texting me.
Believe it or not, you are in control of your life. You had you're still a young man, heart beating and breathing. So you had every opportunity to do anything with your life. I don't want you guys out there to ever believe that somebody else is controlling your life. And that's the other misnomer in this 9 to 5 stuff, is that there's someone else in control of your life. They're not in control of your life. You agreed to give this person at least 40 hours of your life during a 5-day period. You are then off to your own endeavors outside of those times, right? So you could have chose to do it's weird. We only focus on the time that we signed up for the job that we're working at, whether we like it or not, to control what we do, right? But we never seem to speak about the time in which the job does not control your endeavors at all. You're off of work at a particular time. I hope, or I would like to see, what is he involved in after work?
Saying, where are you at? You're supposed to be in work. I'm not supposed to, nothing. I'm not supposed to do anything. Like, I refuse to be told what to do. I refuse to be at the mercy of another person. I can't do it. I won't do it. That's not why I was put on this earth. I feel like I'm different for a reason. And I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm the chosen one or anything, but I legitimately feel like there's a reason I am who I am. Like, look around. There's people who are in the Olympics, people who are famous streamers, people who are in the NBA, people who are musicians, people who are models. These people don't work regular jobs. These people were...
Now, I'm not sure how nice his crossover is. Not certain if he can sing in falsetto. But as I said earlier, he's comparing himself to the ranking file entertainer in the black community. And but he's not rapping. He ain't singing. And I don't know how good his crossover is. So you don't have those skills, at least not enough for someone to sign you. Let's say he does sing, rap, play the guitar, do all type of cool stuff. He doesn't have the skills. Let's say the marketing skills. Somebody has to find you, no matter how good you're singing. You can just get found, I guess you could, but one would behoove you that you have the internet now at your fingertips to market yourself as such. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent. But again, this person is comparing himself to people who have skills in which he does not have.
Molded for something specific. And I feel like people who feel like this, people who feel like me, I feel like you are one of those people. You're one of those people who could become something so special with the gifts that you have, and naturally your body is telling you that you're not meant for the ordinary, and so many people just give in. So many people just follow the script of what's already written for them, the blueprint of life, where you're just supposed to get good grades, where you're just supposed to get into college and go live on campus and get into debt, and you're just supposed to get that job, and you're just supposed to marry that girl and start this family, and you're just supposed to live in your hometown forever, and you're just supposed to retire at 75. I refuse. And I feel like a lot of other people, they know this, but they can't make that leap. They can't make that step because most people are one decision away from their lives changing forever. And I've seen it firsthand. I've been somebody who has had it all and lost it all. And I know how
Y'all think he's had it all? Like, that's a bold statement, my boy.
to get to the top of that mountain. And this time I just won't lose it. Most of you probably don't know who I am. But like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I had a large following on TikTok. I was making money. I had fans. I had people who loved me. And I threw it all away. And a part of me regrets it, but a part of me knows that at that time, that was the right decision. Because it just wasn't right for me. It didn't feel right. I listened to what my body felt, you know? So I know it's possible. I know if I set my eyes on something that I know I want to do, I know it's possible to get to that mountaintop. I just have to know how to maintain it. So I know that people are legitimately one decision away from their lives changing forever, but they can't make that decision. I feel like you have to go all in. Because me personally, I'd rather die than work a 9-to-5 job. I can't do it. I'd rather die. Like, it's just not worth doing. I legitimately start to get so depressed and I start to lose my mind and nothing in life is enjoyable anymore. And I start to dread just existing. And I feel like if you have that feeling, instead of saying there's something wrong with me and I need therapy, or there's something wrong with me and I need a drug, or there's something wrong with me, maybe there's nothing wrong with you, but you're just doing the wrong things. Maybe you just shouldn't be working that job. Maybe you shouldn't be going down this life path. And I feel like you have to step outside of what everybody else is doing. Fuck society. Fuck the expectations. Fuck people who are telling you what you can and can't do or what you should do if it's not meant for you. You know what's meant for you. You know what feels natural. But a lot of people don't feel like it's possible. It is possible, especially with the internet. This isn't 1975, where unless your dad is a millionaire or you're a nepo baby, then that's the only way you'll make it far. And you every other person has to go to school and just get a regular job and right. I get it. Back then it made sense, but today we live in a time where the internet births the most amazing people that we would have never seen before. Somebody could just post a TikTok online of them lip syncing to a video, some music video, and some modeling agency sees it and their life has changed forever. Somebody could decide, I'm going to go start this clothing company. I'm going to go market it and promote it on these social media pages, and their life could change forever. We live in a time where you could legitimately do whatever you want to do if you just know what it is and stick to it. So fuck a job if it's not meant for you. That's all I gotta say, bro. That's all I gotta say. Just like, fuck a job.
Well, you saw that. You heard that. As you can see, there was no skill that he had in order to get him a higher paying job. That's number one, probably the most important thing in this whole ordeal here. That's number one. Number two is, as you've seen, although he named all these other people with these accolades because they have skills of some sort, or talent, or been blessed with this, that, or the third, looks as far as a modeling agency. You have not told us anything that you can do in order for you to make money outside of this 9 to 5? And I'm going to close on this. This is a good question that you should ask anyone who is in a tough spot right now, who is working at a 9 to 5 or at a job or a dead end job, or don't have a job at all and believe that they should be making more money or don't want to work or this, that, and the third. And you should ask them this. Ask them, look them square in the eyes and ask them, if I had the amount of money that you would like to make per year, and I just had to give you this money because of what you're providing for me, what exactly can you do for me to give you this money? And I guarantee you that you will be shocked at their reaction. Ask your friends that. Make sure you put it in the comment section. If you like content like this, make sure that you subscribe, like, and share, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hold up. Worst.